Play with this if you want to live.
(1984) saw the release of The Terminator, starring Linda Hamilton, Michael Biehn, and of course Arnold Schwarzenegger. We all know the story. Robots pretty much wipe out mankind. Humans fight back. The machines send a Terminator back in time to kill the mother of the unborn resistance leader John Connor, and the humans send back a guy to protect her, who ends up being his dad. It had action, violence, action, suspense, action, romance, action! It spawned a whole franchise of movie sequels, a TV show, and video games. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Mega Drive version, so let's play. I love how this game starts. The credit crawl is just like how the movie starts, and when I was a kid this absolutely blew my mind. It was like watching the film through my Mega Drive. I also love the music in this game. It tries hard to sound like the soundtrack from the movie, but perhaps there was licensing issues or something, so it's close, but different enough not to infringe on the originals. When you go through to the main menu, Arnie's just there, staring at you, like saying, "I'm waiting." There are 4 difficulty options: easy, normal, difficult, and very hard. The only real difference in difficulty is that if you play on easy, you'll get a machine gun pretty much at the start of the first level, instead of later on. Regardless of the difficulty settings, you always start with grenades, and level 1 is the only time that you'll get an additional weapon in the form of a time bomb. Throughout the game, you'll play as Kyle Reese, the man sent back in time to protect Sarah Connor from the Terminator. The first level takes place in the ashes of 2029, and you'll face off against a giant tank, a drone, Terminators, a smaller tank, and the object of the level is to fight your way to the reactor, which you'll need to blow up. Then you'll have just 45 seconds to make it to the time displacement equipment. It's largely platforming with some combat that, although it isn't insanely difficult, it is constant. You will get lost on your first playthrough, but once you know your way, you'll never forget it. The biggest problem you're going to face in this game is the stairs. If you're on the stairs at the same time as an enemy, there's a good chance you'll meet your doom and get a game over screen that I actually like to see. Oh, and PS, no lives, no continues. You die once and that's it, menu screen. The game is technically only 4 levels long, so I suppose the difficulty and the single death game over was the developers' way of making the game more challenging and to make it last longer. I completed this in 15 minutes, which is pretty much a standard time for a single playthrough. Once you've destroyed the reactor and made it into the time displacement device, it's back to 1984 and the streets of LA. The story is carried along by these text screens with digitized images from the movie in the background. Level 2 is effectively one level broken up into 2 almost identical parts. This is a simple run and gun from left to right, and the enemies you'll face here are 1980s cyberpunks and police officers. The punks throw Molotov cocktails at you and can be taken out, but the police, who use guns against you, can't be defeated. They can only be stunned for a few seconds, then regenerate. Your only weapon here is a sawn-off shotgun that sounds pretty badass. When you fire the gun, there's a split-second animation of the gun being pulled from under Reese's coat, which I always thought was pretty cool, but the ever so slight loss of time can cause you to take damage. The best way is to crouch and shoot. The draw's pretty much instant when you do this. The goal of this 2-part level is to get to the nightclub Tech Noir, where you first go up against the Terminator. He's pretty easy on all difficulties. As far as I know, he can't actually be stopped, but he's a bit like the police officers, as in he gets stunned and regenerates. Just keep shooting him, and on the 3rd takedown, he flashes, and this gives you literally 2 seconds to get past. Once you're past, just keep running. The Terminator's only weapon is a machine gun, but it's pretty powerful and will kill you quickly if you don't shift yourself. At the other end of the club, Sarah's waiting for you. There's actually a couple of car chases from the movie missing from the game. It would have been cool, like in the SNES version, to have featured the chases. It wasn't beyond the capabilities of the Mega Drive, but what you never had, you'll never miss. Then it's on to the police station, which starts with this poor desk cop being obliterated by the Terminator, as he was in the movie. This level is probably the longest in terms of the time it will take you to complete it. It's pretty much the LA street level again, but in a different environment. You face off against the same punks and cops. This is a good point to mention health power-ups. They come in the form of containers that sometimes appear when you take an enemy down. The game can sometimes be very generous with these, but other times damn thrifty. I always love the roof section on this level when you're running across and you go behind the fence, in front of the fence, in front of the helicopter, behind the helicopter. It was a simple illusion to create perspective, but this told me that video games would one day go full 3D. Towards the end of the level, you'll face off against Arnie again, and it's the usual takedown routine. There is a problem here though. If there are any other enemies on the screen at the same time as the Terminator, particularly cops, it can become very problematic. You can end up with 3 enemies on screen that don't die, and this can lead to a game over, and this played out here with this combination of the Terminator, cops, and my old nemesis, the stairs. I did find a way around having to face the Terminator though. I noticed that you can only have 3 enemies on screen at once, and if you keep this floor above you populated and shuffle along, Arnie never appears. Once you've passed him or banished him altogether, you run up the stairs to find Sarah, then it's on to the last level, the factory. You face the burnt up metal skeleton of the Terminator all throughout this level. All he does is come at you relentlessly and pops up all over the place. You can shoot him off the screen but only a few times, to which he comes back crawling and can no longer be shot off the screen and is now completely impassable, unless you're on the stairs. The stairs are now your friend. All stair logic is now reversed as long as you're going down the stairs. It's just a maze of ladders and stairs and one dead end that if you get caught, it's... But if you can manage to negotiate or memorise the route, you simply make a run for Sarah and Arnie gets turned into sheet metal. And that's it, you've beaten the game. What? Reese is dead? Yeah, that's right. In the movie, Reese gets killed fighting off the Terminator. It does feature in the SNES version, but not here. It's a simple, not very exciting game, but it was one of the first I played on the system. And to be playing something as exciting and cool as the Terminator was pretty awesome. I don't own many Mega Drive games. In fact, I only keep the ones that I love. And this one will be forever in the collection.